Welcome to the Pump Rules Podcast, the show where cast and connoisseurs come to talk all things Vanderpump Rules.
Oh yeah, whoops, the dial is super high. How's that?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
good? That's good.
Okay,
I like that.
cool.
That sounds like normal real life.
Not like I'm going to go deaf during the taping of this podcast. I need to figure out a better note system because the phone, goes to the lock screen, and then you're talking to someone, and you're like, Oh,
well, the new phone, I just go.
You really just look at it. Okay.
I always go like this, but I don't think you need to.
Because you want to. You want to be like, It's like the Black Mirror kind of thing.
I kind of like stare into it. I'm trying to make the same face that I made when I set it up in the store. I'm in the Apple store, and I'm like, it makes you do this like weird head angle thing.
Like a full range of motion.
Yeah, and then you have to do, hey Siri. You have to say, hey... Oh shit, I triggered it. Oh no, don't shuffle all my...
Oh my God.
Apparently this is what was going to shuffle.
I guess this is what we're in for.
Okay.
Welcome to the new style Pump Rules Podcast.
Yeah. Was it Tame Impala? Okay.
We're going for a new thing here, ladies and gentlemen.
Except I don't know how to make this stop now.
What about Hey Siri, stop?
Because I swiped up and it's... Oh Lord.
Does Hey Siri stop?
I do love this song.
It's a good tune.
Hey Siri, shut the fuck up. No, that didn't work. Anyways, I'll whisper it so she doesn't hear.
Okay.
She's freaking me out.
We'll call Siri Larry.
Okay,
Hey
so
Larry.
in the Apple store,
Yeah.
I'm setting up my new phone, and then I know I'm behind on getting the new phone, so everyone's heard this story from their
I'm behind.
friends before.
I still don't know.
So
yeah.
you have to say, hey Larry, a bunch of different ways.
Okay, you're
and
right.
I kind of thought at first when I was setting it up, it was going to be like 1, 2, 3. No, it was like a handful of times. So I'm in the Apple store being like, hey Larry, hey Larry, hey Larry. Because I feel like I have to do it different every time.
Yeah, you got to give a bunch
Hey
of
Larry.
reads. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Lisa's coming up.
Yeah.
Coming up. Coming up.
It's like a very slight variation.
Yeah.
But what's funny is I tried to make it do it the other day and it didn't work until just now. So I guess I nailed it that time on my Hey Larry impression from the store.
Then Larry was like, oh, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah. You feel like an absolute lunatic doing it. I feel like it was a safe space because it was the Apple store and people are like, oh, yeah, she's just doing that thing.
Safe space or happy place? Because we heard a lot about happy places.
Oh my God. If this was Watch What Happens Live, the drinking word would be happy place.
And everyone would have alcohol poisoning.
And we would be dead.
Yeah.
Like having to be revived on the floor.
Speaking of Watch What Happens Live, it was so great to get the shout out from Andy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jake took his Vanderpump devotion to a whole new level by singing the theme song on the Pump Rules podcast. We have a little clip of it.
This is our time. These are the best days of our life. Just raise your glass.
Makes me emotional. Honestly, I feel emotional.
It's great.
You were there for that, the live episode of the old show.
I was, yeah.
Wasn't
And I mean, what was so cool and / something that I was actually really jealous of was that Stassi got to be on Watch What Happens Live with Jake Shears, which
I know.
is, he's a friend of the pod.
Yes, friend of the pod, longtime friend.
But he's a friend of ours.
Exactly.
And he is a wonderful person. And like, how cool is that to be on Watch What Happens with somebody that, I mean, I guess you said they hadn't actually met before.
Until that weekend. And then the day before, they went, Katie and Stassi went to Kinky Boots.
Which, again, I was very jealous of that because I haven't been able to go yet. And I am dying to go. Kinky Boots is actually, I took Tom. So I've been to a number of Broadway shows. I thought I was going to be, Broadway is still my lifelong dream.
Yeah.
But I thought that was literally like the path my life was taking.
Uh-huh.
So I was a theater major. I was very involved in theater. I've seen tons of plays, seen a lot of Broadway. But Tom, one of the last trips that we were in New York, he had never been. I thought for sure. I just kind of assumed.
Yeah.
Because we go to New York frequently for things like Watch What Happens Live. So I just kind of assume, especially because he told me he had lived there for a short period.
Oh, right, exactly. And also doing fashion stuff. You think?
I just thought that he would have been to a show.
Right.
And so I think I said something like, oh yeah, like, so what's your favorite Broadway show? Or, let's look at what's going on. And he was like, I've never been to a Broadway show. It's not like, oh, everyone's in the world has ever been to one. No, it's just when someone has spent so much time in New York,
That's exactly
you just think that that's something they make a point to do.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
And so it was when Todrick Hall was in Kinky Boots, and I took him to see Kinky Boots, and it was his first ever Broadway show. So what's funny is he probably won't see another Broadway show until we go to see Jake in Kinky Boots.
Yeah,
so he will
exactly.
have seen 2 Broadway shows, both of which are Kinky Boots.
Right, exactly. That's good. And then he can really get familiar with the inner workings of that one particular show
he's
before
very
he moves on.
well-versed in Kinky Boots specifically.
Right, he can maybe like counsel some new people, well, because they switch out people every few months.
Yes, yeah,
So-
people have like a run. and
Yeah,
then-
exactly. Yeah. But I'm sure we'll all go see him before
Yes.
the end of the run in April.
I want to so bad.
And you just got his book, Boys Keep Swinging, right?
Yes, he sent us a copy, and I'm dying to get started on it.
You'll love it. And it's available for pre-order now and releases on February 20th.
Oh, fantastic.
Isn't that cool?
Wow, I feel cool. I'm like early.
You got an advance copy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did you look at the acknowledgments in the back yet?
I have not. Okay.
You might find something interesting in there.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Literally, like when I go home tonight, I'm gonna do it.
Oh, and so welcome Ariana Madix to Pump Rules Podcast.
Hi.
I do love the shows that just start off the way we start off, though.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny because right before we recorded, we were talking about how we need to stop talking to each
Right.
other and like normal people and start recording because the whole podcast, it's like now we would have to have repeated ourselves. So.
Right. But we're in no danger of that, though, because there's thankfully a lot of stuff to talk about, and we have an easy time of it. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. We have a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about, especially because the episode prior to this one is very Ariana-centric and very vulnerable Ariana.
Oh, Lord. That is not easy to do, and it's definitely not easy to watch. It's very, it's weird because, I feel like if it was a show that was about me, if it was like the Ariana show, and it was,
Right.
45 minutes a week of me, I feel like there'd be a lot more of these holes filled in.
Uh-huh.
But I think because everything in this, for the sake of time, has to be trimmed
course.
down, and also I'm not the only person to focus on.
Right.
There's a lot of things where you're watching it and you're kind of like, well, but she just, and then what? I don't,
People trying to square things in.
yeah. And it's just how TV and how the show works. But it's funny because I had actually not watched it until just now with you. Even though it had already aired, I just was kind of like following along with people because I also have realized something about myself. I used to be very, I would watch it when they send us the advance copy on Wednesday, and then I would watch it, maybe when it aired. I would try to follow along on social media and get a gauge of like what people were saying and what was going on. And I still try to follow along on social media, but I've noticed that when I don't watch the show like that, I'm a lot happier. Because I also feel like in the 7 months since filming, things grow and they change and they evolve. And I feel like when I watch it, I used to get very caught up in, an interview bite that someone said about me or whatever.
Right.
And now it's easier to look at it a little bit, like to disassociate a little bit, which is good.
It is good, I
I
think.
kind of feel like I have to.
I can imagine
my
it's
mental health.
Yeah, a little healthier maybe.
Yeah. And then also like to get caught up in what happened 7 months ago and be like living in the past
Totally, yeah.
is not good for me. I have to be like, well, the present is this and the future is this.
Right.
It's kind of just something I've learned over the last couple of years, I think, but it took me time to figure that out.
Well, it's a hard thing, I can imagine, to actually get into that mode.
Yeah.
Because you want to see how it's presented, what happened, and what people are saying, and all that. But unfortunately, you are then triggered back into whatever feelings that happened at the time.
Exactly. Or you might get angry at the way that a situation was presented if you feel like it was different when you lived it, or,
Or like you said about interview bites too, that kind of feeling of like, they said what about that vibe? Yeah.
Well, they acted like this and then they said this in their interview,
Right.
Some people on our show get very brave in their interviews. And then in real life, they're like very timid and coy and cute and shy. And you're like, oh, she's sweet. And then she goes in her interview and she's like, Ariana's a bitch. And you're like, what? If I had known you thought that, I would have said something. I would have shut it down. But, sometimes that happens. I've noticed that this season where somebody will be like, she was so nice that day. What happened?
I can't believe they were thinking that. And that's another thing. I mean, we all go through that enough. In the episode, we see you talk to the therapist about anxiety, and it's not specifically that type of anxiety, but everyone has that kind of thing, where they think maybe someone's saying something about them, or, those kind of feelings. So
there's also
to
like
have
a weird like fourth wall thing in that therapy session.
Oh,
which
okay,
is,
yeah.
you know, the social media of being on TV. There are some really kind and wonderful people.
Sure.
I've had to train myself because it's crazy how like people will be so kind and wonderful, and then there'll be one person that says something that's like fucked up.
Yeah.
And your mind wants to gravitate to that.
Right. Which is fucked up, right?
Which is so
Yeah.
fucked up. And you
Yeah.
have to really, it takes a lot of like work on the daily
Yeah.
to keep yourself from concentrating on that one person, you know?
Comedians say that a lot too. They'll see like the one person not laughing. You know what I mean? Or like musicians,
Yeah.
like the one person not clapping or something like that, and everyone else is sort of blurred, and they just
Which
see the
is
negative.
so fucked up because
so fucked up.
those other people who are positive are
Yeah.
the ones that you want to focus on.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
your pals, for lack of a better word.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
they're your vibe. Yeah.
They're, you know, your people, your your champions, and you know, you want to connect with those people, but for some reason you're like, but why is that person not? In that therapy session, what was so cool about so I was really hesitant. This actually
I thought you were going to say the nice breeze that was making your hair look very glamorous.
I noticed that therapist had. I didn't realize that Dr. Julia had like the most beautiful hair until I watched the scene. It's like her hair is stunning.
Yeah, it was pretty done. It was yeah.
like silky and beautiful,
wavy and
full,
right,
and,
sculpted.
yeah, gorgeous. But that's actually something that I've been talking about doing for a couple of seasons now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have this stuff with the ex and that, and I
Yeah.
have my own self-critical shit. And then there's another layer to it, which is
Yeah.
the stress that comes from doing this.
Yeah.
And the shit that comes from when it's airing and what people say and, oh, her skin looks horrible. And I've literally had people comment on the fact that I have cellulite on the show. I've had people comment on, you know, oh, she's built like a 12-year-old boy. Like people say, oh, people always think my hair is dirty. I'm like, sorry guys, my hair, I'm not happy with my hair's texture. It's not dirty. It's just, you know, it's just the texture of my hair, and I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do about it. I went to therapy when I was like a really, really little kid. When my parents were separated when I was in like kindergarten. And when you're that little, you don't even know. I remember I was playing with like dolls.
Sure, yeah.
You know, and then being
Yeah.
like, all right, do you feel like, you know? And I'm
There's
like, I don't
dolls and
know.
board games, or generally
Yeah, exactly.
as when you're a
It's
kid
a lot
and therapist.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really cool of them to
Because she had
just
video
be
games this
supportive
time,
like
right?
that.
You were doing,
she's
yeah.
video games. It's like a Sims type game.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, that's good. It's like one part of your brain focuses on that, and it frees you up to talk about the emotional stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what's funny too is watching it is I've noticed this watching the show in the past as well. I've noticed that whenever I'm uncomfortable emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
I say like a lot because it's like a filler. I did it.
Well,
It's as though it is a filler
Right.
for not getting to that point.
Well, it's like you have to take this step. You don't want to. So when you're hedging, your brain just throws out like, you're like wanting to go somewhere, but you're terrified of it kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do it a lot more when I'm uncomfortable emotionally. I did it. So I didn't watch this one till now. And I didn't watch the one before. And then the one before, I think I was on Watch What Happens Live for. So I watched it right before we went into when I was in the green room.
Your
I
Watch What
watched
Happens
it.
Live, where you're wearing that fabulous blue suit, which was
thank you
provided
so
by
much.
provided by Brad.
Yeah,
right?
my friend Brad. He works for Zadig and Voltaire, and it is a Zadig and Voltaire suit. And I had the jacket tailored because I am bigger on bottom than I am on top, so I sometimes have to tailor my tops.
Which,
But
by
yeah.
the way, there was a great shot of, I think, Peter's birthday party. Usually the B-roll is B-roll trolling, but they were like...
I didn't see that one.
Okay, so there's a really great shot of your ass. There's no other way to...
Tom
you're
actually,
walking up the...
Tom actually showed me a photo that I guess a friend of his sent him a photo of their television
Okay,
to
yeah.
Tom, and then he showed it to me. And I mean, thanks guys for that shot. Thank you. I wasn't expecting that. Didn't know anybody was following me up the stairs.
We were talking about body image issues, and I think, like you said before, filling in the gaps with people is a really helpful thing, because people have responded to you, and on the show sometimes it's if you're icy or you are frozen in a way, but maybe you're anxious and they don't see that.
I've come a long way. I have to say, I've come a long way with that. But I am my social anxiety used to be really bad. I think it's a lot better now. But then my anxiety as far as body parts showing and things like that. A lot of people, first of all, like I said, if I'm wearing shorts, even if it's a tank top, I have body makeup on my entire body that's showing. And then at my birthday party, I was wearing not only body makeup like on my arms, I'd spray tan and I had body makeup, but on my legs, I had 2 pairs of tights on.
Wow, drag queen trick.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually a trick I learned in from go-go dancing.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, the nude fishnet is a really good trick for if you're go-go dancing or whatever, because there's kind of a weird eye trick that happens. And then I used to be a dancer, and the tights, the 2-pair layer the tights.
Now the other pair of tights, are they also fishnet, or is it just a sheer?
It was sheer nude, and then at my birthday it was a sheer nude, and then a pair of like glitter nude.
Oh, gotcha.
Fishnets.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right. You did have a shimmery sheen to you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into all of that to make me feel comfortable. What literally no one sees besides Tom is the multiple, or like not as frequent as they used to be, but they used to be more frequent breakdowns in my closet about not knowing what to wear, because there's so many things. It's hot outside. Okay, so I don't want to be sweating. Okay, so if I wear shorts though, that means I have to put body makeup all over my legs. I'm really ready to commit to that. And if it is really hot, am I going to sweat that off?
Yeah, right.
Also, so there's a lot of, and then also, are we going to be walking around a lot? Am I going to wear heels? There's a lot of things.
Factors.
And I know that this happens for a lot of people.
It does.
The factors.
Yeah.
But I get so worked up. I'll get really worked up to the point where I'm literally, Tom says I'm recording an album in the closet.
That's a very funny way to put it.
Like you said, you've been in the closet. It's like you're recording an album.
You're like, I got to lay one more overdub down, and then I think I'll get the backup vocals.
Like I will literally be an hour and a half late to something. And what he said to me once that really clicked for me. It's still not perfect. Oh, someone's here.
Someone's at the door. Hold on a sec.
Well, I'll just finish this thought while you're over there. He said, no one's going to remember what you were wearing. They're just going to remember that you showed up. Oh, my God.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Come on in. Oh, look at our guest.
Oh, my God.
Rolling.
Yeah.
Come on in, man. I got a mic already.
I was just talking about you.
Oh, nice.
What a surprise,
I really was.
Right?
Yeah.
I was quoting
Get you a
you.
beer.
Sure. Love one.
This segment brought to you by Cringe, the new fragrance from Sheena Marie. Synthesized by master chemist Rob Valletta during the intermission of his one-man rendition of Hamilton, Cringe will challenge your nose as well as your sense of math and decency with the aroma of 12 years together minus 6 years apart. You might wince, you may well flinch, but you definitely will cringe. Cringe, available now exclusively at Dylan's Candy Bar.
While Tom's outside,
Yeah.
I just have like one quick thing I want to say about him before he goes in here and get near me, which he's not going to be mad about because he knows. The other thing about in that filling in the gaps, there was a little bit of a weird, like I just wanted him to be around me 25'8",
Yeah, right.
366 with the twins, the triplets and Schwartz, and it wasn't like that would have been great if it was the way that it seemed on the episode. I think I would not have had these, extreme feelings.
And on the show, it seemed like maybe he was out late one night past his bedtime.
Yeah.
Right?
And it seemed like maybe I was a little extreme in my, like neediness or whatever. He literally did not come home for 3 days. We lived together.
Right.
He didn't come home for 3 days. I didn't see him for 3 days.
He was at this building more than your building.
He was staying here. Yeah, exactly. I did not, we're talking 3 nights where I didn't see him at all. And trying to even get a hold of him via text message or phone call was like impossible.
Right.
And, it's not like he's out like cheating or and I know that, so it's not like that kind of issue. It was the fact that I was doing all kinds of planning and trying to get all this stuff together, for this party.
Right.
And, because I did all, Kyle Chan was the one who came up with the theme.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so he helped me with like suggestions stuff, but I ordered a bunch of shit on Amazon. Like I decorated that place myself.
Oh, cool. It was beautiful, by the way.
He helped me get that throne. And there was a lot of work that went into throwing that party. I did a lot. Kyle Chan and I literally planned that party.
Right.
And we got the space, we got cocktail menu. I mean, they had past hors d'oeuvres.
Oh yeah, it was a full-on thing.
Full-on thing. And there were like 100 people there. So it was a lot of work.
I know
And
someone said online that it looked kind of sparse, and we were talking about this a little earlier, unless you have a room that's overpacked, like a lot of music videos, if you look at the credit, if you pause a full house in a music video, it's overpacked, or in a movie.
Right, yeah.
A normal party, like you need space for people to walk around. So it was
and there
very
were
full.
a lot of people. There were legitimately, I think, 100 people.
Yeah, there was a lot
which
of
was
people, yeah.
more than I expected. And so obviously it's not like, oh, it's my birthday, pay attention to me, but it was just to not even see or hear from your boyfriend in 3 days is kind of a big deal on a normal week.
That's fair enough, especially around your birthday too.
And it's not like he went out of town. He was down the street.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Less than a mile
And then when
away.
I did see him, it was, he showed up, he was drunk,
What? I'm glad
after
I'm sitting
being
down. That's my
out
joke
and-
I have to say every episode. So
So yeah. So that's why I was like, I didn't see you. That was, it was 3 days with nothing.
right, because that
Like
was at the
radio
tail end of
silence.
that trip. I
Yeah.
mean, of the triplets trip.
Yeah.
And also at the tail end of the triplets trip was Tom and Tom at Tom Tom.
Oh my gosh.
We were roaring.
We were laughing so hard watching that scene of you in shorts at Tom Tom with, oh my God. You guys were not sober.
You were holding it together pretty well. Like only the trained eye, the aficionado knew.
Yeah.
But Schwartz was just a total mess. Like he's sweating.
Yeah.
He's kind of discolored.
I did overhear Ariana talking about it. I was completely MIA, and I felt really bad about it. I
For
mean,
3
it was
days.
it was like 3 days. It was 2 solid nights. One night I did come home, but it was super late, and then the other time I was like, I came home like in the morning. Another time I came
But like
home
long enough to change clothes and leave.
yeah, like it was pretty bad. I got obsessed. I do get obsessed. I get fixated.
Sure.
With the triplets, I'm like, Schwartz is like, well, we'll just get them some suits and some shoes. And I'm like, excuse me. But I'm
Always
like,
burp on mic on this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah,
That's a
come
rule.
on, man.
I'll dub in a nice big belch. Yeah.
nice. I appreciate it. With Schwartz, with Tom Schwartz, I feel like I already have to kind of take care of him sometimes.
Yeah.
I have to dress him, I feel like. So with his 3 triplet brothers, it's like that times 10.
Sure.
Not even just times 2. It's like times 10.
Well, we saw a little bit of that last year at the wedding.
Oh, I mean, I dressed them in their, everything from like belts to socks to
Which
like
is
got
so-
them underwear, got them everything.
Yeah, which is so kind and
Yeah.
so nice. And that's the thing is it's like, I love that you are that person. But when you are that person to that level, then I'm kind of,
I neglect everything else.
yeah.
You get laser focus.
I get way laser focused, and
Yeah.
I became obsessed. I get a sense of fulfillment and joy out
Yeah.
of seeing and affecting people.
Which
and,
is awesome. See, that's the thing is that
but
is
it
an
was
awesome
bad.
quality, but
I just went overboard, way
Sure.
overboard.
But
And it was
yeah.
right around Ariana's birthday, and I hadn't really helped out much. I was kind of there with her.
don't say much.
Yeah.
Don't say not much.
I basically helped set up the party with her that day, and that was the first time she had really seen me in
It
like
was literally
3
the
days.
first time I had seen him in 3 days was when he helped me set up the party
Well,
that day.
we had gone out together, but it was, you know what I mean? Like we were out to dinner, we went out.
There was the one planned dinner that was with everybody,
Yeah.
including the triplets, which you guys were an hour and a half late for. So I didn't see or hear from you all the way leading up to that.
Yes.
And then when you guys showed up, there was no conversation between us at all because you were you were off in some other world. And then we like got drinks. And even then when we got drinks, I remember I was sitting with Raquel, hanging out with Raquel, and you were off in some other part of the bar with
Yeah.
them. So like it wasn't, and then you didn't sleep at the house. You were here. And then if you did sleep at the house, you were sleeping during the day after you came home at 7 a.m. And I was out. I'd left. I had things to do.
Yeah.
So there was no like It was either he didn't come home or I was gone and we didn't see each other and he was gone. It was,
or you were technically in the same room, but
I
maybe.
was
And then if I tried to, and then if I tried to like text him or, whatever, it was like radio silence.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clear that up.
Well,
Because
it's
when
good
you
you
watch
did.
the episode, it kind of just looks like Tom stayed out late one night.
No, yeah.
And I'm
was
being
way
needy.
worse.
It was way, way worse.
Way worse.
So lest anyone get the impression that your sort of general anxiety that is discussed in the episode is also like, you need to be with me every minute of the day.
Yeah, because no, we actually, I feel like Tom and I are, especially like if one of us is out of town, we're actually pretty cool about like, oh, he's with his brother, I'm with my friends in New York or whatever.
Right.
And we are, I'm for the most part pretty
Independent
and
Yeah.
happy for each other to be able to spend time with family and friends. There are some times when it gets to extremes, and I think that's when there's an issue.
And there happened to be a lot going on at that time as well.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of like Katie and Schwartz. They have that kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, oh, cool, you're doing poker tonight and you're doing this.
Yeah. I would much rather be in my bed watching nature documentaries than sitting in a casino watching Tom play poker. But I'm like not worried about him. He's not doing anything bad. He's just out, not with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of poker,
You know?
you just did Randall Emmett's poker thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So it was live at the bike, and it's actually his, Randall Emmett's, live at the bike.
Okay.
Called the home game. It was a $2,000 buy-in. I went all in with my first $2,000. I gave myself $5, hoping that I wouldn't have to resort to that last $1,000. Like that would have been really depressing, while everyone else is deep stacked. You know?
Yeah.
While everyone else has the rest of my $4,000. So I bought back in for 2. We played for a total of 6 hours. I basically told myself I'm going to give 25% of whatever I make to Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh, cool.
And I
continuing your charitable streak, you know.
Yeah. And so I started doing really, really well. And by the end, I think I was the top or one of the tops as far as chip stacks. I ended up walking with $12,160 or something. Dude, it was crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I think that's one of the best, like the biggest come ups I've had playing poker. I don't normally play. I think the most I've ever bought in was like for $1,000. I'm not playing like $5,000 on the regular or whatever.
So that means 25% of 12 would be like $3,000 to make a wish
minus my buy-in. So
right.
So it's like of 8. So it's $2,000.
Nice.
That's great.
Cool.
Yeah, and Schwartz, I got Schwartz to donate. Schwartz is donating $1,000.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Off his winnings. I held him to it. I was like, you said you would. I couldn't ask Randall because he literally lost a lot of money. He went on tilt. Like after he kept losing and losing, he kept going all in. I mean, if you watch the video, he's going all in with like Jack 2 offsuit, 8-3, 8-2, like really. He went on tilt, and every hand, I'm so lucky that I was to the left of him. He got to the point where every hand he's raising 200, 300, 400. It's a $5 blind. I was up a little bit more, maybe almost 13,000, but I lost like another 7 and essentially was like 700. I'm like, I'm done.
It's good to know when to jump out of that.
There's something about people talking about poker that makes me feel like they're speaking in wingdings, and I just like can't. I'm just like I tune out. I have no idea what the fuck you guys are just talking about.
Well, I'm sure you're speaking for a lot of the listeners. No offense. I did encourage
it's all
it.
good. It's all good.
Yeah. So it's nice to have both of you here because the two of you have been going through it a bit on the show this season. And as uncomfortable as that must be, as Ariana said before,
Let's talk about my vagina some more. Yay.
You know that was just a nicely worded lead up to talk about. I was going to say, so Ariana, let's talk about your vagina.
Like, I saw something somebody tweeted, they were like, what, does Ariana's vagina have teeth or something? I'm like, no, that's kind of the point.
It doesn't have teeth, and that's what you're bummed out about.
It's yeah, exactly. That's what I was hoping for.
It's a little taco.
Tom.
This
is too much. This is embarrassing.
Apostrophe taco, right?
Lil Taco.
Brought to you by Little Taco.
No. My worst nightmare, guys. This is horrible.
Oh, I'm so glad we could make this happen. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm so glad you invited me for this.
Naturally, because I'm Hispanic, I prefer tacos over hot dogs.
Oh my god. Well, I mean,
It's a Sandoval speciality.
I don't talk. I'm not a hot dog fan. Wait, no.
Literally,
I'm not a hot
or-
dog fan. Literally.
Right. Metaphorically.
Metaphorically, yeah.
Okay. What about?
I'm down. But literally, no. I'll definitely take a taco over a hot dog.
Ah, interesting.
I love Mexican food. It's my favorite.
I like the way.
That's why I like my
Latin lover.
my Latin lover, my Mexican man over here.
Oh yeah.
And as Jake Shears said on the on Watch What Happens Live the other night, it's sweet to see that you guys are working through the stuff.
Ariana is not feeling open to sex while Tom appears sexually frustrated. Will they be able to communicate their way through it?
Absolutely, I think they're already doing it, and I think it's lovely what's happening with their relationship.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jake is awesome.
Isn't he? Yeah. We'll have
He's
to
so
do a
great.
giant show with him.
Oh, dude, that'd be
really fun.
amazing.
Do you remember when Lacma had those ramen noodles that you would
Oh, yeah.
walk through? That's kind of like me and Tom walking through the bullshit right now. We're making our way through. We're kind of karate chopping.
Yeah.
And eventually we're gonna hopefully make it to the other. Tom, can you not chew in the microphone?
I can mute it, but
Oh, okay. Well, or just not chew in the microphone. But
I can turn it up too later.
yeah, turn it up. It's an this is now an ASMR podcast.
Bumpers podcast featuring.
Ew, don't.
It's a pretzel. It's slightly salted. There's some hummus.
Yeah, you have to. It's lightly salted.
Lightly salted.
Oh God.
This is the sound
Makes
of me
me
picking up the
nauseous. I
pretzel.
hate it. I hate it so much. I hate mouth noises. Mouth noises really.
Now I'm picking up the pretzel. So there's this one that is this woman eating a pickle that I'll have to send to you.
Oh my God. Wait. Does she do her nails on the jar
Yes.
like this? I've seen it.
It's right.
I've seen
it's
it.
wild. It's,
Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah.
John Franklin posted it, and that's how I've seen it.
I'm gonna take the pickle out the bag, and I'm gonna take the pickle out the jar, and put them right here, and then I'm going to beat them for you. Dump in this one bag.
And also, you showed me earlier Honda Civic selfie, a terrific Instagram
On Instagram.
account.
Yeah.
That's wild, right? Their stuff is
Yeah.
so funny.
It is a really good Instagram.
It's really, really good.
It's
I'm gonna have to see
really
if
funny.
they want to be
That's
on the podcast.
quality content.
Really quality. Like
Why
the,
does
the
everybody?
detail.
Why does everybody think that they took my "I Do Coke" video? The Kill the Noise video
Oh,
I
yeah,
did,
yeah.
and they dubbed pasta over it.
Why do
I
people
do
think
pasta? I don't understand why people think pasta is our code word for cocaine.
I've never heard that used as a euphemism for
No,
anything.
I think it's because people find it so unbelievable
Yeah.
that they would have that argument about pasta. So
Right.
they think it's got to be about something else.
maybe
But
after.
that's the thing is if you know James,
Yeah.
then you know that he would have an argument about pasta.
The most ridiculous, insignificant
that
thing.
this thing could be something because it was the larger thing that it's a metaphor for is respecting Raquel.
Right.
That's what it's really about.
And he says respect in terms of people not giving it to him or not being at the appropriate level
Right.
a lot. Even
A lot.
in this episode when him and Lala are going at it in Big Bear.
Lord.
And he's insulting her. He's doing all these things that guys just shouldn't do. It's like a textbook case of don't do this with a woman. So first off, don't tell a woman aggressively to shut up.
Him and Jax must have read the same books.
Well, he read Dr. Jax Taylor's book, Girls That Can Be Broken, Girls Are Weak, which is available at I think, all Sunoco stations. Now, it used to be a different...
That's a classic.
Isn't it, though?
That's a classic.
I had to get another copy. I burned through
What's
mine.
that show that used to be on
I went
PBS?
through-
Masterpiece
Masterpiece Theater, yeah.
I went through 3 highlighters in that book alone.
Well, because there's just so much wisdom. He drops so much wisdom in that. You don't want to miss a nugget.
Yeah, you want to make sure you get everything.
This segment brought to you by Girls Can Be Broken, Girls Are Weak, the new relationship how-to handbook from Dr. Jax Taylor. Hot on the heels of Taylor's self-empowerment Bible, I Hate You More Than Life, Girls Can Be Broken, Girls Are Weak teaches you how to lower the expectations of your lovers and live the life of your dreams, couchy style. Girls Can Be Broken, Girls Are Weak, available in paperback at all fine Chevron stations.
Not 2, but 3 highlighters.
Well, you need different colors because you got to
Yeah.
get there's this stage of dealing with a lady,
Yes.
then stage 2, and then the destruction phase.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, hold on. Here we go.
Oh wait, this is the perfect. Yeah. Oh, opening a Coors Light.
That was a good one.
That was a really good one.
Guys, I nailed that.
Cocktail of champions.
Brought to you by Coors Light.
I have a beer and a beer on deck. You got to make sure you get a beer and a beer on deck.
That's essential to proper podcasting.
Yeah, you can't be getting up and, that's the thing.
And even as a non-drinker, I have the mug of iced tea and the
I noticed
water.
as soon as we were about to record, you went ahead and you brought out the full deal.
Yeah, the full bottle, filled up the mug. Yeah, absolutely.
We're
Guys,
settling in for
James was
night.
on one on that trip, man. He
was on 2.
Dude, he really was. Here's the problem. We actually, Ariana, we should have been taking one for the team and actually maybe taken the couch.
Because we've slept on that couch before.
We've slept on that couch before, and also the problem is that when people are still up, and we walk out there, James gets up and it's like putting down a baby.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can't have the baby sleeping in the living room. The baby needs to go upstairs with, that
noise machine.
Like a little a night light.
The mobile.
Yeah. I think that's
James
the key for
actually,
him.
the fidget spinner was actually kind of like a mobile for him.
It did seem to soothe him and control him a little bit,
and
or calm him.
It's on his note.
That's right. Yeah.
And he would stare at it.
Yeah.
It actually did. It was like so it's like a mobile. He just needs a giant fidget spinner is above his bed.
I made a joke that that's what that's what Logan calls James, is his fidget spinner.
That's good.
Did you see that Call Me By Your Name poster?
Yes.
Yeah, how great was that, right?
So good.
It was so good. The comments and everything that were on it.
Yeah, the reviews are in.
Well, I thought it was interesting too, seeing Jax's anxiety level during the Big Bear trip. And there's a quick glimmer of like what's going on there with him and Brittany, because he's like, I just want to talk about how I'm feeling. And she's just kind of had it with everything. But I did think it was interesting.
It's really it's interesting because I feel like, I've taken a little bit of a step back, but watching this episode, there's a lot of stuff that I'm watching just like a viewer's watching.
Right.
Because these are things that I didn't know about. I didn't know he was continuing to see that Reiki healer.
Oh, right.
And I didn't know that he was on this path, and I didn't know he was referencing her, and
yeah, Kelsey
this
says
was beginning to be a bigger part of his life. And I definitely didn't know. I obviously wasn't in that room. I'm watching it. It's kind of crazy to see that he's actually kind of wanting to talk about his feelings.
Right.
I feel like a lot of times at Jax, there's no feelings. And then all of a sudden there's a buildup and there's a huge breakdown and there's crying and there's, I'm an awful person and I did something horrible and I'm a horrible friend. And there's a big thing.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of crazy to see Jax laying there and just literally wanting to just calmly talk about his feelings.
And what seems to happen with him...
I've never seen that from him before.
And it's weird because what seems to happen to him is that he'll want to do something that is like, say, healthy or encouraged.
Right.
But it's at the wrong time.
It's at the wrong time.
The exact wrong time. When Brittany has had her fill, she's just been called the most judgmental person in the group by James, which is like, work that math out.
And and it's late. It was... work that math out. God. Work that math out. I love that.
That'll keep you guys at the Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah, I was going to say, we need Matt David from Goodwill Hunting to work that out. Oh my God, that's awesome.
He'd still be on the chalkboard. He's like, I don't know, guys.
Seriously.
Maybe I'm not that good, guys. I don't know. And so I think, and then when that happens too, it's like someone's doing something like you said before at the therapist's office when you use the word like a lot as filler. You're nervous about something, and what happens when you're nervous about something and then you're sort of rebuffed by the other person or cowed in a way. It makes you just close up shop.
Then that's it. That was your moment and it didn't work that moment. And so you're not trying again.
It's been clear with Jax that he does suffer from terrific anxiety, even though he's not been the most sympathetic person.
Well, that's the thing. That's something that's been kind of a weird thing for me as someone who has not. You've been friends with Jax for probably almost 15 years?
Yeah.
Probably almost as long as Sheena and Rob have been going to the house in Big Bear.
Yeah, actually probably almost as long as Raquel's been alive. Which we also figured out while we were in Big Bear that Jax could actually be Raquel's father.
How old is Raquel?
I think she was 20 when we filmed that.
Oh, wow.
or something, and Jax is about to be 38, which means he would have been a teenage father, but like
That's
on the
still
older
possible.
side.
I mean, he was definitely probably active at the time.
I would assume so. Although, didn't Jax say he lost his virginity like pretty late?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I remember hearing him say one time that he was like
Late
18
bloomer.
or 19.
I'm gonna have to ask
Really
him about
interesting.
that. That is interesting.
We'll find that
That's
out
a
for
whole
sure.
New area.
We'll put a pin in that one because that's actually interesting. I'd like to find that out. But as someone who I have not been friends with or known Jax for nearly as long as you, and my relationship with Jax has gone from someone I see from afar who's like a complete and total mess and like ew gross, like no, coming into Villa Blanca wasted with like Stassi and all of them arguing.
Oh, that's cute.
From afar, but all very from afar.
Yeah.
You know,
like that doesn't stand out to you at a Villa Blanca.
Yeah, and then
it's like Neil Diamond in the background and two drunk 20-year-olds or whatever.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, a drunk 20-year-old and a drunk 30-year-old.
Is what we used to call Villa Blanca the spa, if that gives you any indication of what working there was like.
I called it a retirement home too.
I like spa better. It's a
Spa's
little
better.
nicer.
Spa's nicer. It's a little
I'm sorry, I meant to say retirement home compared to Sir.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right. Which
yeah,
honestly, the spa vibe I preferred.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think there are, people who worked at Villa Blanca definitely preferred that. People who worked at Villa Blanca were like, oh my God, the people who work at Sir coming over here, God, please, Gerd, like, get away.
People were like, Gerd, God.
Also,
Gerd.
Also, I
Gerd.
realized now that retirement home is even way...
Well, people are fucking in retirement
Exactly.
homes.
So it's actually, it's even worse and very,
Yeah. So anyways.
By the way, STDs are on the rise in some retirement communities.
Oh, yeah, we've been hearing about it.
Yeah, they don't care. They're not even thinking about it, and they're just going
They
to
don't
town.
even know.
Yeah, they're like, what do I care?
So I've gone from that to, now Tom and I are dating and I'm around somebody who now I'm like, you know what I mean? There's a little bit of, I was amused by him at times.
Yeah.
And then there were times where, then he goes around and he tries to cover his own ass by like lying about Tom.
Yeah.
So then now he's fucking with me, fucking with our relationship, fucking with Tom's reputation.
Sure. Yeah.
And all this stuff. So Jackson and I have gone through a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
And there's been it's been all over the place. It's been a roller coaster. And then, being friends with Brittany when he brought Brittany into our lives and seeing what a wonderful angel human being that she is.
Despite her judgmental.
Yeah, despite being the most judgmental person in the group. God. Seeing that and then going through everything that just happened, everything that happened with Faith and all of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing because I'm not excusing any of that behavior.
Of course.
Jax has done some really, really horrible things.
Right.
Are you going to write this person off forever and just say that they do horrible things and you're going to just hate that person for all of that? Or knowing that Jax is going to be around, try to humanize him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He is still a human being and he is somebody who has done good things.
Yeah.
It's not all bad with him. There's
he's not just a pure demon.
He's not just a pure demon. And then watching him kind of go through these things, which honestly, at the time, I remember Tom kind of saying to me, Jax seems really down. Jax seems really depressed.
Yeah.
At the time, my response to that was, good. Fuck him.
Yeah, right.
That was honestly my response at the time. He created these problems for himself. He can fuck off.
Right.
Good. Wallow in that bed that you made.
Oh, he's suffering consequences.
Oh, right. Oh, he feels like a piece of shit and he feels like his life sucks. Well, guess what? His life sucks. That's where I was at the time.
Yeah, right.
But, I feel like since then, especially with everything he's gone through recently and then watching this kind of development that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something in him that really does want to be better.
Absolutely.
And I just feel like it's one of those things where you can't just all of a sudden wake up one morning and be better. It's not like a Band-Aid. It's an everyday choice making thing.
Right.
And I feel like in those moments, he's trying to make those choices. And so I feel bad. And I also feel like I'm rooting for him in those moments.
Right.
Even though I know there's another one of those shitty ones around the corner.
Yeah. And also there's a difference between what we were talking about in the when we're watching the bits on the previously on, excuse me. That's how you do it, pal. No. When we were watching the moments in the previously on where he is being yelled at by Lisa and he's giving his just stock almost like he's at he's at an audition, but he's doing the other part. The other person's auditioning. He's
the reader.
And he's just going, yeah, I'm sorry. I know, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean
I just
to do
want to
it.
help Ariana.
Yeah.
Let me get in there. I'm ready to help.
I really want to help. Yeah. And then his total shock when that is not bought by the other person.
Right.
And then we see the difference between that and then when he's actually kind of repentant and wants to change.
This is a real person.
And, and actually that
this is him.
Exactly. So what that makes me want to talk about with you is Stassi. Because you and Stassi have had your issues.
We have.
And of late, Stassi has put herself in some pretty hot water.
A few times.
Yes. So I wanted to get your thoughts on it, especially because we saw a couple episodes ago, prior to Billy going and doing Stassi's podcast, you and Lala and Sheena talk to Billy and give her, I'll say, a warning.
It's a little bit of like a rundown of
sure,
like a history lesson, I guess.
Yes, a history of Stassi.
Kind of like the same thing that, I've done with girls, and me and everybody's done with any girls that have dated Jax.
Right. You're like, we have this handy guidebook here.
Yes.
It would behoove you.
Yeah. Yes. What did you say? There's the support group meets on happy hour on Tuesdays.
It's a severance package.
And the support group is literally like Stassi, Rachel, Kristen. And then I feel like Carmen was around. Yeah, Carmen. Right. Yeah, that was the support group, which is. It's so, oh my God, it's insane.
Well, I love when they do the flashback.
This is real life, and it's honestly insane.
No, exactly, because scripting something like that, people go, that's a little ridiculous. I'd take that out. Make it 2 people.
You can't write this shit. You honestly cannot.
You can't.
So going back to that, what were your feelings when you heard that Billy was going to be on Stassi's podcast? And what did you want to impart to Billy?
Well, Billy is just Billy is very active and very, very aware, very, champion of social change and social issues.
I love Billy. She's so awesome.
Yeah. And these are things that Billy and I, before we had that conversation that day, we had these kinds of this is how I know that, Billy and I had these kinds of deeper conversations about these things in the past. And because our friendship, we built our friendship on a very deep level, but we built it really quick. And so we had gotten into these discussions like pretty early on, and we talked about a lot of these things. And so I knew that was important to her. And so I knew that, I wasn't trying to be catty, but I was a little bit frustrated because before that I had been made fun of for supporting Black Lives Matter and like being vocal about it. I'd been made fun of a little bit by them because I had said things that I didn't agree with what she'd said, and been called PC police, and had one of them I won't name because I don't want to get them, I don't want to do this, but I won't name them. I had one of these people got in my face and was like, yeah, well, all lives matter. And like try to like make fun of me by saying that. And it was like, I don't think they even really really understood the issue or understood what any of this was even about. And so I knew this was something that was important to Billy. And that's why, even though I was a little bit, that was at the very tail end of the conversation. And there was literally, I love how it was like, we're only going to, Ariana's going to get 5 seconds and no interview bite to explain. And we're just going to use that. And that's it. And it was a heated bite and that was it. And I never once called her racist. I never did. Not on Twitter, not in life. I never once did it because that's not how I roll. And that's not really what I believe. And so, I just wanted Billy to know that she was going into a place on the podcast where she had an opportunity to really impart her knowledge onto Stassi. And that's kind of what I said, even though I said it in a more heated manner. It's like, I hope you school her on what her privilege is.
I think school her ass is...
School her ass on privilege, yeah. And that's kind of what I was thinking. And I knew that Billy was going to go in there and change the world. Because that's what Billy is going to do. Billy is the kind of woman who will change the world. And I love her. And I think she is brilliant. And I knew that's what she was going to do. And I hope that she did. And I honestly think that it was a teaching moment for all of us, honestly, on my end as well, on like being patient, on being kind, on being more open. Billy has taught me that when someone is ignorant to an issue, that's a welcoming sign to impart whatever knowledge you have on the issue to that person. I've learned that from Billy, and I think it was a teachable moment for Stassi to know that there are people out there who didn't get to grow up the way that you did, and if their moment to speak about what they're passionate about is when they're on stage accepting an award for an Oscar, then by all means they need to use that platform to talk about what's important to them.
Right. And
I think that, since then, Stassi has stepped in it a couple of other times on other things. And I think that, I don't think she's a bad person by any means. I think she's actually we've had a lot of fun together hanging out. I think that we have a lot of things in common.
Yeah.
And I think that, if a friendship does develop from the point that we're at right now, I think that we will have to have some deeper conversations about some more important issues because it's not like, oh, I'm just going to ignore any of that.
Sure.
And I don't think she would want to either. I think if we were going to develop a friendship from this point forward, we would both want to really dig in there and work that out.
Yeah.
Because you don't want any of that kind of resentment. And I also just think that it's worth it for all of us because I feel like we will all be better people if we work all those things out. And I think that I don't think any bad would come from having those kinds of conversations.
No, absolutely.
And maybe some reading material involved. I don't know. We'll have a book club where we read book,
That could be on Wednesdays because the other thing is
book club
Tuesdays,
is on Wednesdays.
Right? Yeah.
The book club is on Wednesdays and we're going to start with the new Jim Crow. So bring your highlighters, guys. And then the week after is going to be... give me the Jack's title.
Oh, right. Girls Can Be Broken, Girls Are Weak.
Yes. That's the week after.
That's right. Yeah.
Or maybe we should start with that, honestly.
I should get that tattooed.
I think that'd be good. Right down your leg.
Right down my leg.
Yeah. And then the part that would show with certain shorts would just be Girls Are Weak.
Yes.
So you can have Girls Can Be Broken on the thigh and then Girls Are Weak. And then you just, roll around, put your leg up on the table, be like, hey, ladies.
Yeah. That's a look.
Ariana will never have to worry about me if I have that.
Or at
least at the pool.
On each leg. You got one leg, Girls Can Be Broken. Other leg, Girls Are Weak. Yeah. I guess that was for sound effect.
And then everyone gets to see it.
Listeners.
They can read the full phrase if you just stand super pigeon-toed.
Yeah, and then a hand gesture like that. And one final question about the Stassi thing.
I wanted to say something just about that. There was one thing that it slightly bothered me a little bit, is that I know Ariana has had conversations with Stassi, where Stassi said, she's got mad at Ariana where she's like, you call me a racist, blah, blah, blah. That never, ever, ever happened. And Stassi knows that. They had already had a couple conversations about it. Ariana literally pulled up her, tweet, whatever, showed exactly what she said, explained it to her, and Stassi was like, okay, I get it. And then as soon as, you're watching the episode, she goes around and tells 3 different people, I don't think she told all 3 of them the same thing, but basically told Lisa that, Ariana's calling her a racist, and that's not true. And that's I think it was screwed up, and I know, and the thing that bothers me the most about it is Stassi knows that Ariana never said that, but she's saying it anyway. So it kind of becomes a thing to me where are you knowingly lying right now?
And then just to Phil Donahue it, who was sort of the pre-Oprah for those younger listeners.
I remember him.
Thank you. Yeah. So for the devil's advocate position, now what if she was so upset with the notion that someone was thinking that she was racist, then she's sort of summarizing it in a way that is...
She knew better, though.
In that case, I think I would be more, if I was in her shoes, I would be more concerned with what I said to cause that than what someone called me. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's kind of that thing that a lot of people do where... you say something really messed up and then someone gets mad and then you get upset about what they said about, you know what I'm...
No, definitely.
Instead of being upset about the fact that you said that. We've talked since that episode has aired, and I think this is a lesson we're all learning and we're all kind of going through it.
Yeah.
But I really am starting, I think I'm starting to see that, I think she's looking at it in a different way because she is getting all these perspectives from people who are seeing it air.
Right.
And they're saying you can't cry about your feelings being hurt because you said these things and all somebody did was point out that you said it.
And also on Watch What Happens Live when this came up.
I loved what she said on I read it online and I loved what she said on Watch What Happens Live.
What did she say?
Stassi, why are you always stepping in it on your podcast and on social media? I feel like you can't open your mouth without offending the universe.
Because I'm an idiot.
Right.
Seriously, I am.
Does it make you? Do you think maybe you should think before you speak?
Well,
think about how it's going to be. No, I mean I don't mean this.
No, I'm not taking that in a negative way at all. I'm learning that.
Okay.
I'm learning it the hard way, and
Okay.
it's something that I need to learn anyway.
I like how outspoken you are, so don't cut your tongue out. Hey, Penny, what's your question?
Hi, this question's for Stassi. Why are you such a racist?
Stassi, are you? Now's your time.
Oh, goodness gracious. Obviously I'm not, and so it's a frustrating thing that I feel like I have to deal with.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have to deal with it. That's not meaning I'm not a victim in any way of what I've said. I say things that I don't realize will hurt people's feelings sometimes, but I think my actions speak louder than the stupid comments that I make sometimes, and I'm learning.
Everyone's
how
got
to be
room
better.
to learn.
Right.
Everyone's got room to learn.
True.
I thought that it showed a lot of growth, and I honestly was like really like, wow, okay, that's something that like I can stand by that statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt good about it. I felt like, wow, this is like great. You know, I like seeing this side. I like seeing this person, and I like seeing her grow. I don't, you know, I don't want to get in arguments with people about how they, you know, whatever. And obviously, you know, there's been a couple of other things, but hopefully there is a lesson being learned, because honestly, like if we all just sit in the same shit that we've all been sitting in and hate each other for it, then we're not going to get anywhere. But if we can all learn and grow, then that's the goal, right?
Right.
If we can all learn and grow and make the world a better place, then fuck yeah, let's do it.
Right.
1 million strong and growing.
Thank you for making that awesome.
Putting a music button on it. No, I agree with it. I'm happy to hear that, because as with a lot of viewers, I would like it if there was eventually a Stassi Ariana joint birthday party. It'd be nice, because I feel like those moments
honestly,
when you guys are together on the show.
I think if that happened, maybe I should plan it.
And she could do the makeup though, because the murder makeup was pretty good, right?
The murder makeup was pretty good. Was pretty good. I don't know how I feel about gunshot wounds, but
maybe somewhere in the middle, sort of like you know,
like I do like injuries. Halloween is my favorite holiday.
Oh, okay.
So I'm down.
You're already
with,
on the same path here.
I'm down with that. It's just, you know, I like the true crime vibe.
Okay.
But you know, the bullet holes are a little past the line of morbid for me.
Sure.
But
you can meet in the middle then.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do think that, like, let the record show that my birthday parties have been very fun.
Yes.
And everyone has always had a really good time at my birthday parties.
Yes. I can vouch for that. Yes.
Right. And I feel like her birthday parties, you know, you almost like rely on it to be a little
bit of a scene.
Right, which is like really entertaining. But I feel like maybe if we did do a joint birthday party, maybe I should take the lead on the overall festivities, just based on the track record.
Yeah, right. Based on the turnout, the end result.
Let's troll Bravo and just do Disney themed or Marvel themed. So they can so they have to blur all of our costumes the entire time.
Yeah.
Or like totally work with them, and they're like, it's Law and Order SVU themed.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure what you do for a costume, but
we'll do Marvel, DC, and
Disney
all together.
Yeah, and only drink Coca-Cola.
That's
it. Yeah, Coca-Cola products
straight out of the can.
Straight out of the can. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It'd be like Grease.
I'm surprised they allowed you to say Coke Zero even in the episode.
Wow.
Yeah, you're like, grab a Coke Zero.
I loved watching you guys shop for booze. When you're 3 or 4 people at a liquor store for a group event, someone's got to take the lead.
Yes.
And of course, it's perfect that it's you, because you're always very keen to think about what's going to be best for the group, like with the drag thing or the triplets, right? Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, you're good at that.
And not everyone's good at being like, you know what, we need ice. Like, that's a simple thing, but a lot of people will get a whole bunch of...
always forget about ice.
And mixers.
Yes, and mixers. And they also always forget about, like... They'll forget fruit, or they won't get enough. Also, when you're shopping, like let's say you're staying in a cabin, you're getting food, people always forget cooking spray and hot sauce. So you end up cooking eggs in a pan, and it's usually like, you know, cookware at an Airbnb is usually like the shitty cookware. Basically, somebody like they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get some new cookware. We'll put the old cookware at the Airbnb."
Yeah.
And then people forget to get cooking spray,
Right.
and hot sauce and like just little things
Even
like that.
butter,
Yeah,
which
or
might
butter.
help in that situation. But
Exactly. And so there's like eggs stuck everywhere.
Yeah.
You know,
It
Or
just
they,
gets gross after a while.
They buy like 1 carton of eggs for like 12 people.
That or chips. Oh, you got 1 bag of chips. Oh, and it's the small
Schwartz
bag.
is notorious for that.
Oh my God, watching
the
him come
worst.
back with like
If
when he
you
was supposed
send
to get
him to
mixers,
the store, yeah,
it's outrageous
it's
when
like
he comes
Dumb and
back.
Dumber.
That's more bad math. It's more confusing. Like, you didn't work this one out, Goodwill Hunting. Yeah, he comes back with like an apple and like a one. It'll be like a large Red Bull, but one.
One Red Bull. Yeah. Yeah. He's the worst.
You'd think Jax would be worse than Schwartz with that, but Jax is
No.
actually great. Like, you go over there and the fridge is stocked with water. There's flat and the sparkling, and there's Red Bull, and there's Coke Zero and regular Coke.
And then Jax also keeps beer in his fridge. He doesn't
Yes.
drink beer, but he keeps beer in his
Love
fridge
it.
because his friends drink beer,
Although I liked in his interview segment an episode or two ago, he was having a Corona.
which was odd. I'm
know.
like, I've never seen Jax drink a Corona
He
in my
must have
life.
just grabbed at something.
Must
Yeah,
have.
and he hit his tooth. That was.
And then he hit his tooth.
That's actually why he doesn't drink the beer, because he doesn't.
She needs to be careful because it's gonna bite her in the face. You know, that bit her in the face.
That was so good. I love the interview segments this season,
Yes,
especially.
they've been
Really
great. I
good.
love getting to see a little bit of what that actual dynamic is like, because
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like if fans of the show, if they wanted to be a fly on the wall in any show situation, it wouldn't be like a party scene
Right.
or whatever. It would be, if you sat in that room during us doing interviews, I feel like it would be so much more interesting.
Mightily entertaining.
Mightily entertaining.
Gerd.
Muddly.
Muddly Gerd. Now-
Muddly?
Muddly Gerd. Well,
Muddly
it's a
Gerd.
bartending term. That,
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
you guys know that one. It's very sort of like...
It's kind of like a
it's
niche
deep.
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very East Coast. Speaking of drinks and muddling, the new fake cocktails, or rather, sorry, the new actual cocktails that you guys drink.
Oh, come on. They're fake.
The fake cocktails to the side of you while you guys drink
Yeah.
something else, which I like that that's been shown in the interviews too. Like
Right,
Stassi with
we're
the
not
big-
actually drinking
Yeah,
those
right,
drinks.
because they're always at the same level. And
Yeah.
both of you have new ones this year, right?
Mine
Yes.
is a sidecar, which is actually very fitting because when I was, 18, 19, 20 years old, we would get a hotel, like a bunch of us for New Year's and stuff. And I remember it was the first drink, like cocktail that I learned how to make.
Oh, okay. Now, what's in that again?
So there's a few ways to make it. The way I would make it is with, champagne cognac or cognac, like Remy Martin with 3 muddled lemons into sugar, and then you do Grand Marnier,
Okay.
and you shake it into a martini glass,
Yeah.
and you
You can do a
garnish
sugar
with-
rim if you want.
Yeah, you can do a sugar rim. It's a sweeter drink, but it's good. It's
More like
nice.
a dessert cocktail.
Yeah.
If you want something sweet, but you don't want to eat food, if you order a
Yeah.
sidecar, I feel like you're getting your dessert in
You
your
can,
glass.
you can make it less.
Well, you can
dessert.
alter it, of course.
It's like the dessert Manhattan.
It is
in a
kind of
way.
like the dessert Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And what's your drink?
My drink is sangria.
Oh, okay.
So it's brightly colored
Yeah.
and a lot of fruit in it.
Yeah, okay.
There's a strawberry and I think there's an orange slice. I don't know why I was given the sangria, but I feel like it's because it looks really cool.
Didn't you have an Adios one year?
I fully requested having an Adios. I had an Adios for 2 years in a row.
I love that because a blue
Adios,
drink,
motherfucker.
a blue drink is always the best thing.
And they
that
were
you
like,
can
how
have,
do we
right?
indicate that? And they asked me, they're like, how do we indicate this is an Adios? And I was like, well, blue, but you put
Yeah.
a lemon wedge on it.
Right, because otherwise it could be a blue Hawaiian.
Right.
But an adios
lake
motherfucker,
water.
for those who don't know, I
It's
forgot.
a Long Island iced tea with blue curacao.
And-
And it is there. It's called an Adios motherfucker for a reason.
A good reason. At the Bowie party, the Videodrome Bowie party, there's a themed drink menu, and one of the drink entries, there's always one that it just says either like a description unavailable or bartender's choice or it's a secret.
Yeah.
And so there's one called a blackout, and that's what the blackout is, which is named after a Bowie song. And it
But
just
do they
says,
put
Oh
like-
yeah, no, it's it's the Long Island iced tea with
oh,
blue
okay,
curacao.
because there's one called an LA Water.
Oh, interesting. What's that?
An LA Water is literally the exact same thing, but it's you put like a splash of cranberry in it.
Oh, okay.
And so it looks black.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which is the joke, I guess.
Yeah, actually, that's maybe a good idea for the blackout.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it because I was like, well, they will black out if they drink it.
Because the blue
so.
curacao with like a splash of
Cranberry,
or
yeah.
you can
Looks
do
like
like
green.
Chambord.
Okay.
Because it's dark as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, and still gives it that sweet, like,
It gives
fruity
it like a
flavor.
really fruity flavor, but it's like black.
Yeah.
In the cocktail glass.
Nice. It's like, roughly like 700 calories per one.
Do you ever order one of those these days?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
What's the
Hell.
strongest cocktail besides like a shot while you're drinking something else? What's the strongest cocktail you
Martini.
order? A martini.
Martini, because it's just straight up.
Now, do you like gin or vodka?
Vodka.
Martini?
I like a dirty vodka martini.
Just filthy.
Do you ever drink gin martinis? I feel like even that's what a martini, the classicists would say
you're supposed to, like, if someone just says, "Oh, I'll take a martini," you're supposed to ask vodka or gin.
Right.
Because
But nowadays they pretty much just want vodka.
well, don't assume.
Don't assume either.
Don't assume.
Assum is very dangerous.
Don't assume.
When you make an assumption, you make an ass out of you an umption.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
Dad
a
jokes.
Jax. That's a Jax.
That's a
right?
Jaxism.
Yeah.
Except he would get some part of that wrong.
So he'd be like, "Yeah, when you assume something, you assume it." And that would be, he's like, right? Isn't that what you do?
You make an ass out of assumes.
You just show your ass.
You show.
Isn't that right?
Yeah,
Isn't that you take a bite out of your own ass?
Is that it? No.
If you've listened to my podcast for a while, you've followed my journey through rock bottom to finding my first solo apartment to moving into my newest one. And if you know me, you know that finding the perfect Stassi blue paint color was among my top priorities in the moving process. I can't explain it. It just makes me happy to come home to sky blue walls and high gloss ceilings. One of the most popular questions I get from you guys is exactly which paint color it is and how I find it. Trust me, it's a process. Step 1. Grab a bunch of different swatches with the color options you have in mind and one true white swatch. Tip: choose lighter options than you think you want. Trust me, they'll look different outside. Step 2. Go outside the store to compare your swatches to your white in natural light. This is how it's going to look on your walls. If I chose inside the store, I would have chosen a blue that was way too saturated. But taking it outside shows me how it'll look in my apartment next to my high gloss ceilings. Step 3. Go back inside. Second guess yourself, then repeat the process until you find your perfect paint color. And of course, step 4, get someone else to do the heavy lifting. Tweet me pictures of your interior design inspo and projects. I can't wait to see what colors you choose. And if you happen to know anyone at Bear, tell them we should create a sky blue color and call it Stassi Blue. Love you, Khaleesi's. XX Stassi.
Speaking of biting your own ass, in a way, Sheena really puts her foot in it, I think, a number of times. And I know it's difficult for you to
I cringe.
Yeah.
Well, because the thing is that I love the girl.
Exactly.
I do.
Yeah.
And a lot of I've actually had people tweet at me like, I really love you, but I'm holding back because I don't understand why you're friends with Sheena. And I feel like there's got to be, someone was like, I feel like there's got to be something wrong with you friends with Sheena. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. You don't actually know her. Honestly, there's a lot of really amazing things about this there's a reason why I want to be friends with her. It's because she's super sweet and she's always, the thing is that she's always the kind of person who, she's sunshine and rainbows to a fault. And I think that's what you're seeing a lot of. And it's almost because that it's not right for her.
Yeah.
That's why it's cringy.
Yeah, no, that's why
you know what I mean?
blanch.
That's why it's like, oh God, don't do that again. Oh no, she said happy place again. Oh no, she's talking about, like, it's like, oh no, don't do it.
Yeah, it's like a talking points thing almost. There's like this set thing and she's really wanting it to be the truth.
Yeah, and I think that she really just, it makes me, God. It's like funny because she's fine. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, she's doing very well. She's in Vegas doing her show and
totally.
she's doing really well. So I laugh at it, but I'm also like dying. I'm like, oh no.
Dying
or
sleeping.
I legitimately did fall asleep. That
Outside
literally
of Big Bear.
was
Yeah.
sleeping.
Wait, what?
that scene where when you guys go to the liquor store and we're out on the sun deck. Mm-hmm. I did fall asleep for like a solid 20 minutes. I was like sober.
Yeah.
I just fell asleep.
Yeah. Well, anytime you take a trip
and then
you're
at
going
one point, I think somebody had to like wake me up. Like I had to be woken up. And then at that point, you see like for the rest of the scene, I'm like turned on my side and I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, guys. Mm-hmm. Like no words came out of my mouth after that.
Nothing's harder than trying to appear as if you're not falling asleep when you're falling asleep.
Yeah.
And like if you're on a long car ride and it's like you're losing the battle and you just nod right out. When you're in the sun after basically racing to get to this place.
Thank God for sunglasses. You guys, I was passed out.
You were full weekend at Bernie's.
Full weekend at Bernie's in that scene. And I really thought wearing that my sunglasses would save me, that they were like going to be my...
Yeah.
You know, like we're gonna wrap up with this conversation pretty quick.
Yeah. Quick shot of you, quick shot of Lala. But then also everyone else is making kind of wincy faces.
Right. Yeah.
Or like they just smelled something funny.
I was betrayed.
Because, you know, she's talking about how Rob built the cabin in 30 minutes before everyone showed up.
Right. Yeah. Which...
I timed him one time. He put us TV up in 7 minutes. I'm like,
what? Jax was like, he created the air that we breathe.
Such a great Jax summary.
I also really liked when we were playing that dumbass fucking card Never Have I Ever game. God, that game was dumb. I was really trying to, have fun with it, be invested, but like the questions on there, anytime you play one of those games where the questions are already printed out, they're always so lame. They're so lame.
Also, playing a game with Sheena is kind of a nightmare because she can never play a game by the rules. Never once. And I don't even how long I've known Sheena. She's never been able to play one fucking single game by the rules. She always has to have her set of rules.
Yeah.
We've played Spin the Bottle. I mean, dude, I've kissed Schwartz. I've kissed Shay. I had
to kiss Jax in New Orleans.
I kissed Katie. No, I'm only going to kiss a girl. And then it's like, no, I can't have that. Like if we play, like we were playing Spin the Bottle with...
She didn't play because she was married. She said married people aren't going to play.
Married people don't play. It's like, okay, Sheena. Like there's always some rule.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. But like, okay, well, I guess the rest of us will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we were playing Spin the Bottle at Jackson Brittany's on the housewarming party, and there was like shots.
Oh,
whatever.
the shots and the drinks and stuff.
She's like, no, I can't drink this. I can't drink that. I'll tell you what. Why don't we split it? It's just like, okay, Sheena.
Whatever.
Right.
Because at a certain point, sometimes when someone won't go along with the rules, you're just like, okay, fine, whatever you want to do. We're just trying to
play.
Yeah.
Just don't play.
Well, yeah, because it's like if you don't want to do something,
it drives me nuts.
I don't think you're not going to be forced. It's not right to force somebody to do something they don't want to do.
It's not a big deal, but it's a little thing that really fucking drives me nuts with Sheena.
Yeah, and it just adds up each time you play a game. Like I'm sure when the games are broken out, you're like, here we go again.
Here we go.
Sure.
So yeah, we're playing this rules. Like really, the fucking questions on that game. I swear to God, we had to keep skipping through.
Yeah.
Because they would have like 1, 2, or 3 stars in terms of like level of naughtiness.
Oh.
And like the level 1 it was so dumb. It was like a great idea in theory, but like whoever writes the questions needs to like I don't know. There's
step
something
it up a little.
Worn a whipped cream bikini.
Yeah, one
like
of them was,
stupid...
have you ever worn a whipped cream bikini? Never ever worn one. I'm like, no one.
No one
what?
who
well,
the only person I can think of that may have, and this is not a slight, this is a positive thing, is Ariel, who was a stripper who is at
which she
Stassi's
did
party.
I think
I'm sure she did. Yeah.
But what's funny is I caught the trolley shot of the swinger party thing. They cut to Tom looking at Rob, and it looks like Tom's like, yeah, I want to go to a swingers party with Rob.
Right.
I'm like, what the hell? Okay, with that shot insert.
Well, because you're so in love with him, you have such a crush on Rob.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Okay.
Well, being nice to your friends.
Yeah,
boyfriend.
and he's a good guy. I mean, he's not like a bad guy.
Yeah, he's fun to hang out with.
I gotta say, I thought during this episode,
weird push.
He looks kind of like Jason Sudeikis' stand-in. Like they're like, light him. Jason's in the trailer, and that's not a knock. It's just he's like close enough that you're like, okay,
a little bit.
He's he's Bradley Cooper's stand-in.
Actually, he works for both. This
He
is
works
great
for Bradley
because he can get
Cooper.
double pay when they're on the same shoot.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, because you got to light the guy first. Now later on, I'm glad you took a nap during the outside deck scene, and also when dinner was being prepared, because that meant that you were nice and fresh for the James and Lala disaster.
I love that. Like there's all this stuff going on. Everyone's cooking dinner. The girls in the kitchen, the guys are doing whatever. And then you literally see me walk out of the room and go, "Oh, this looks great." Sheena, this looks so great. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
This is what I'm here for, guys. Food and sleep. Those are my two favorite things in this world. And I'm sorry, I'm not even going to apologize for it anymore in my life.
Ariana, would you be like, I'm sure you would be annoyed if you just saw me like with some girl that I had like hooked up with before, and maybe like if you were Raquel and I was James, kind of laughing and like whatever with Lala, you would probably be pretty annoyed.
Yeah.
Especially the touching aspect. They're very.
Oh my God.
He's closer to her on the couch.
Very, very not okay.
I would be really annoyed too. I mean, if if Ariana was like that, with some guy, I'd be like, what the fuck?
No, exactly.
Yeah, and it's so weird watching this episode in particular because I remember these things going on around me, but I just feel like I kind of checked out mentally. You know what I mean? Because I was just happy to be in Big Bear.
Lovely location.
And I was like, oh, I can't wait to just get on the boat. I just kind of and I had gone through all this like birthday, all this stuff for my birthday, going to this like therapy. And I literally was just kind of like, oh, I'm just going to turn my brain off.
Yeah.
So I remember feeling like, oh, like fucking feel bad for Raquel and like kind of seeing these things going on around me. But I don't think I really saw the gravity of it until I watched it back now. Right. And watching it back now, I don't even think I noticed James and Lala that much.
I did.
Sometimes when you check out like that, because you've been sort of on full.
I was on full blast, and I kind of like wasn't firing on all cylinders, and I wasn't being very observant.
You were very sleepy too.
I was very sleepy. I just wanted to cuddle and be on the boat and be and yeah, that was it.
So what were you thinking at the time when that stuff started? And how did it what was the vibe? Was it just like him slowly getting? Because I can't tell with him if he gets slowly into that mode or if it's like boom, instantly. You know what I mean? One shot over the line and he's sailing.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's kind of a slow progression.
Yeah.
And then he kicks it into high gear.
He kicks it in.
Okay.
He kicks it into high gear.
If he was on that slow progression and then he tapered off, he's great. He's fine.
Sure.
But
the slow progression and then pushing it over the edge is when
he shoves it way over the edge.
Yeah.
If he feels like he's getting drunk and he's whatever, he'll do like the fireball thing. He just. I don't know why he does that, but he just.
Because most people, they start to go, oh, I'm feeling a little drunk. I'm gonna
chill the hell out. No more shots for the rest of the night.
I'm gonna start drinking a beer. I'm gonna grab a beer and I'm just gonna drink this beer until I go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe one shot later on or something, but
if I feel like I've calmed,
mellowed out enough.
If I feel like I've gotten a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, and especially too if you get into a kind of a dark mood when you're doing stuff. You got to be careful with that because, as we see with James, like he's getting into this weird mixed emotion area.
Yeah,
too.
and I've experienced that personally. I feel like that's a lesson that I've learned because I feel like in the last year, I've definitely drank more in the last year or 2 years than I ever have in my entire life. And I've noticed that if you start to get onto any kind of subject that's not, I love this song. Check out this weird dance move.
You got to see this movie.
You got to see this movie. Oh, she's so, oh my God. Nicole Kidman, she's amazing in Big Little Lies.
Perfect timing with the subject matters.
Nicole Kidman is amazing in Big Little Lies. Anything that's deeper than that, table it.
Yeah.
Table it.
Yep.
You got to learn. It's like training yourself. You really got to train yourself to table it. And you know what's funny? You table it, and then a couple days later, you don't even care.
No, you don't care at all.
You're like, do I really want to bring this up sober? No, I actually don't want to bring it up because I really don't give a fuck about it when I'm sober.
Do you guys maybe notice?
Housewarming party, Tom and Ariana fight, 2017.
Oh, God.
As an example, there you go.
Classic example.
Classic example.
We could have tabled it. Should have tabled it. Had no chance of tabling it at the time.
Yeah.
I feel like because James and Raquel don't live in, Raquel goes
She
to
lives
school.
in Sonoma.
Sonoma.
Oh,
She goes
okay.
to Sonoma, and then she's away.
She's from Thousand Oaks.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
But she goes to school in Sonoma.
So, anyways, my point is because they're like gone and away from each other a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like James feels this magic, and they feel this magic between them, and like distance makes the heart grow fonder. But at the end of the day, to me, it doesn't seem like they're on quite the same page, nor are they like really good friends. Like I don't see them like joking around or being goofy or like. I feel like it's just this love, and then James has Lala as like his friendship / sort of.
Love interest,
slight
something,
slight tension,
unrequited love interest, something, yeah, definitely. Like, but she hasn't shaken after all this time. Not that it's been years and years, but like a long enough time. She's with someone. He's with someone.
Yeah, like I don't think that she has anything towards James, but I feel like James might a little bit towards her, and it's probably a friendship thing too. But
well, like Lala said, he hasn't been able to handle the transition.
Yeah, exactly.
He hasn't figured out how that works.
And even when they're laughing on the couch, she doesn't seem that into it. Like she looks like she's recoiling a little. Like she doesn't want to be touched by him.
Going along with the friend vibe, she's doing what I would do in that situation.
Yeah.
I'm not going to punch him in the face. I wouldn't have been angry. I wouldn't have been like, I'm creeped out.
Yeah.
I'm laughing and I'm going along with it, but I'm also very aware of the reality of the situation, which I feel like he's caught up in whatever moment,
and his own wants and desires as well,
and his like maybe this is rude to my girlfriend meter is just completely
faulty.
Off because
it's off. It's literally off.
It's literally off because he's wasted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it seems like he just goes into that zone. And it reminded me a little bit of the way he was around Raquel with Logan. Mm-hmm. Whether or not those two had a thing or not, it was sort of disregarding maybe how Raquel would interpret it.
Which is weird because the whole pasta argument was about disregarding Raquel.
Right. Exactly.
Which is interesting.
And that's what he gets so heated up about.
Right.
I have lots of friends that I like. I have girlfriends that I love and that like we laugh and goof around, but like we just don't. We're not like hanging on each other and like rolling around laughing. We just don't do that ever. So it's a little weird to me. James is a little bit of a physical guy though. Like even with me,
he's just a touchy.
He can get very touchy. Like even with me, I'm like, dude, chill. Like when he gets too drunk, he gets really touchy, and I'm just like. So I guess there's something
space issue.
Well, like Lala said, boundaries. I thought that
It's all about boundaries, and I actually, it's interesting to me that it's not in the episode. That argument that was happening in the kitchen. Right, I think it was around the time I put my mouth over James's mouth, my hand over James's mouth.
Yeah.
I said something because James kept saying, well, she says the same stuff to me. She says the same stuff to me. So why is it not okay? And I think I remember saying to him, and I think I said it to both of them separately. I said, you guys need to figure out where the boundary is, and then neither one of you can cross it. Whatever the boundary is, if shut up is the boundary, if the word bitch is a boundary, if talking about each other's relationships, whatever the boundary is that works for both of you, you have to figure out what it is.
And stick to it.
And you have to stick to it. And you both have to stick to it. I'm not going to invalidate him by saying, oh, she doesn't say, I don't know. I'm not there.
Right.
Maybe she does say the same kind of things. Oh, maybe she does tell James to shut up.
It doesn't seem like...
If she tells James to shut up, then he's like, oh, well, then I'm telling her to shut up. We both do it.
Yeah, but...
So neither of them need to be doing either of those things, because if it doesn't work for one person, then it's not going to work for the... Exactly.
I feel like with Lala, she'll tell James to shut the fuck up after he's like just dissed Randall.
Like the scene we saw after the pasta argument.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Like something that like deservedly gets shut the fuck up
I heard him say that shit come out of his mouth. I was like, dude, I would have fucking decked him.
Oh, I know.
That's crazy. He goes too dark.
Lala is a gajillion % right in the situation.
Yeah.
But when two people are screaming at each other and everyone's trying to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, you are being heard. I feel like I'm a marriage counselor. You're being heard and you are being heard.
Right.
I'm hearing both of you. Now, what I need for both of you to do is figure out what your boundaries are. Okay. Yeah. And then neither one of you cross those boundaries.
And hopefully in 15 minutes, you'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And good God. And then while you guys are doing that, we're going to go to bed.
Yeah.
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 I think James needed to go night.
He really needed to be put to sleepies.
Yeah, but then the way he ended that conversation with Lala made me absolutely sick. When she was like, do you think maybe I'll get an apology from you? And he's like, yeah, I would if you would shut the fuck up for 2 seconds. I'm like, oh my God.
He does
I would have fucking kicked him right in the side of his fucking face.
Him and Jax
just know how to say the right thing at the right time. Even when he's like, yeah, we got the tits and ass here, and points to Brittany.
And then it's crickets.
It's crickets, and he's like, oh, No wonder, Jax, she doesn't want to talk about your feelings later on in the night.
Yeah, because you're exactly.
She's just the tits and ass, right, pal?
Exactly. But not, yeah, exactly. God, there's just so many layers. Oh my God, there's so many layers.
This episode was really an onion.
I thought we were
this
TNA.
Episode actually.
God damn it.
Good one. Well, I actually should have just been silent after you said that.
I can put crickets in if you want.
I think you should.
I thought we were TNA.
Yeah, actually, I thought this episode was an onion. There's actually I think on the surface, this episode on first is one of those ones maybe on if you watch the show multiple times.
Yeah.
Or like a Funyun. No?
I really want to publicly applaud Raquel's conflict skills.
They're incredible.
They're incredible.
I was really surprised.
Is really good at maintaining, having her opinion heard, while also being very
composed
and also very, James, the baby gloves.
Oh yeah.
The baby gloves with James.
Yeah.
So James is there smoking a cigarette outside, wasted. Oh yeah, well, and she says, you said some really fucked up things about Lala and her relationship. And he goes, oh yeah, well, Lala said some fucked up things about you. And Raquel just goes, oh yeah, like what?
Right.
Not sarcastic, not passive aggressive in any way.
And not wait, what did she say? What the fuck?
And not catty at all.
Right.
Literally just, like what? What did she say?
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm actually impressed with Raquel. And I know that there are people who watch the show, they're like, oh, are we really going to want to see more of Raquel? And I'm like, I've spent time with her, and I'm telling you, she's actually, there's a lot. I've had deeper conversations with her, and there's actually a lot more going on to Raquel than what we've seen. And I think that's only the tip of the iceberg. Watching those conversations with James, I'm like, she really knows how to kind of do this.
Yeah, she knows how to handle
this. Is something that I honestly, I have to say, I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah.
I personally could not do it.
It's like having a child that's got
a drunk child.
Like a child that's, needs Ritalin and
you.
Xannies.
So you as a child.
Yes,
you're
me
basically
as a child.
You're basically describing yourself, is what you're saying.
Like me waking up my parents with cap guns at 8 a.m. in their bed.
Yes.
But she's been through it that whole night, but she still maintains this really gentle, delicate composure with him. And he's been really awful to her. He's been ignoring her the whole night.
Yeah.
And there was a moment in the show where I forgot that she was there for a second because he was acting as if she wasn't.
Right. I think we all maybe did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's funny? You know what I want to see? I want to see Raquel snap.
She was so close that night.
I can imagine.
She was so close. James would not shut up. He would not go to bed. He would not he kept
night one or night two or both nights.
It was night one.
I remember night two was when he was up outside.
I was with him.
Yeah, night two.
That was fine. He was more calm. We were just having calm conversations. But night one, he was like, this is my bachelor party. You know what I mean? Kind of acting like that.
Yeah.
This is
Bizarro
his
James.
first time away from home.
Yeah.
With alcohol. You know what I mean?
Right.
Spring break, senior trip. That James. And he was so obnoxious. He would not calm down.
Which makes me a little sad because I think part of him was just so excited to be invited.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So I feel like in his mind, he also kind of, while he's doing all this, he probably knows he's blowing it.
And that makes him even more obnoxious.
Self-destructive.
Yeah.
Because he knows he's blowing it.
And that reminds me, what was the first or second episode this season? He's like, I feel like everyone wants me to fail.
Exactly.
So that's in his mind. And then he knows he's feeding that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Layers, man.
So many layers.
Funyun.
Not an onion, but a funyun.
It's a work in progress. Which is the
other
season.
phrase. So we have happy place. We have work in progress, which I said that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jax has said it
many times,
unbeknownst to each other.
Right.
We don't know each other saying any of these things. And then you said work in progress.
That's right.
This episode.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the catchphrase of the season. Apparently. There's the season. What season was it? Season 3. It was like the truth always comes out.
Oh, that's truth always comes out, and then it's all happening.
It's all happening.
Which had a big comeback.
Oh my God! Sheena brought back "It's All Happening."
I said it too. I've said it too this year.
I mean,
it maybe not hasn't aired yet, but I've said it for sure.
Okay.
I mean, it's fun to say.
Yeah.
But
it's.
I felt like it was said in earnest.
It was.
And I just know that it's not.
It's not all happening.
It's not gonna be good. I think that's part of also why I cringe so hard is because I know that other people are not going to be as gentle as I am as far as like.
I think you're right based on the previous podcast guests. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people see. A lot of people aren't having sleepovers with Sheena and having these like inner moments and talking about our deepest, darkest parts of ourselves, like we do, because we are friends. So I don't think that it's gonna go over well, and that's what makes me cringe even harder.
Last episode, we saw that everyone was kind of going through it a bit, not just you guys, but everyone. Actually, with Jax and Brittany, we don't even class that into the same grouping because they were going through such a crazy fucking ride.
That's on its own level.
They've got their own theme park.
I don't know if there any listeners have ever been to Magic Mountain. Jax and Brittany are on X2
the whole time.
The whole time.
And there's no break. When it gets to the end of the ride, it just keeps going.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
And there's a picture taken every time.
Every time.
Like a strobe.
I'd like to say that we're on Goliath because I think Goliath, like X2 is your dirty mistress and Goliath is wifey.
Yeah.
I wanted to get your thoughts also on Stassi's freak out at her birthday party.
Okay, so
I think she was under a lot of stress.
Yeah. When I heard about it at World Dog Day from Peter, my thoughts were all about how this is how she treats her best friends. Well, because they do fight a lot. That's not the only fight that they've gotten in like the last year. And
at the time too, this is kind of close to when you and her were not getting along so great at the party.
And then I'm like, oh, great. So then now she's screaming at her best friends and leaving her birthday party. You know what I mean?
Right. When you just hear the summary of it.
And I do think that like poor judgment, your friends are not who you're really mad at. Your friends are not you don't take these frustrations out on
You're frustrated with other things.
You're frustrated with other things. But then watching it and seeing all the things that I mean, dude, oh my God. The microaggressions that come from Patrick are
just horrific.
Sickening.
They really are.
Absolutely fucking sickening.
Dude.
Hearing about it beforehand, right, it seemed like, oh, that seems crazy. Why would she think that Patrick would be upset? But then seeing how they interact and seeing his behavior, I was like, oh, okay, it's because after a while with someone like that who's basically emotionally abusive, like low-key emotionally abusive.
Low-key.
Manipulative.
So manipulative. She's so high-strung because she's attuned to anything that he's an opportunistic sort of like, oh, that wasn't cool.
I've been there on like that and then crank it up. But like a very similar like vibe on like the low end.
Yeah.
And then cranked up. So like I totally fucking get that vibe.
Right.
I've had friends that are in relationships like that, and it's like you see less and less of them.
Yeah.
They're like all of a sudden, not like a fan of something they were always a fan of. They're like changing
it.
They're completely now into like something that they were definitely way against before. It was hard to take in anything that I had heard about Stassi's birthday party with all those hot bitches around on World Dog Day.
Especially because I know that you had like a bloodthirsty rage after Charlotte didn't win the pageant.
I was fuming.
I know that there was a whole scene they had to stop filming. It was ugly.
Yeah.
They almost came to blows. You almost ripped your mic pack off.
I did. Almost ripped my mic
You almost
pack.
jaxed it.
She was robbed.
Yeah, you took your sweater off.
Robbed, dude.
You were swinging the boba around your head.
Some bitch is fucking somebody, dude.
I did win best escort though.
Which is, that's not a small.
I'm putting it on my resume. Best escort. No explanation.
It's a good cocktail party thing. Well, I did win best escort, especially when you don't know the people. They can make up their own
mixed
story.
Company.
Yeah, mixed company. It's a perfect story. But
And my brother has a face tattoo.
My brother does have a face tattoo.
He does?
And it's a new thing.
Wait a sec.
Look,
It is hidden. It's in his like hairline.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
so
not.
it's not
quite
like
so.
on
and
his
it's over
face.
a birthmark. Yeah. But,
okay.
But it's nice to just say, when he told me he's like, I got a tattoo on my face, I was like,
I freaked out at first.
I freaked out. I'm kind of.
Well, yeah, that's news you'd freak
He's like
out
my
over.
little brother. I gotta I scolded the hell out of him. But it's fine.
It's like up here when his hair grows. It's like you don't
even see it.
Yeah. One last thing about Patrick, we were talking about the microaggressions. His body language was nauseating because there's two things. So basically, when you're dating someone, when you first meet, or even in the first 300 meetings of the parents or the mom, you kind of got to keep it in a certain realm. Like, even if you're best of pals with the mom, you keep it in a certain way, light and fun.
Like if anybody in your girlfriend's life that if anybody in your girlfriend's life that you want to have a good impression of you, it's your girlfriend's mom.
Yeah. And second, her best friends.
Yeah.
And man, does he drop some fucking steaming turds on both groups.
God.
I just couldn't believe it. I'm really happier on my own. And then, I wouldn't mind if she went and banged some dudes. Like, are you serious here?
And then Kristen's interview hindsight kicked in because 2 episodes or however many episodes, she said they were the most perfect couple ever. And oh my God, I just want them to be together and they're so beautiful and I love them so much. And then in her interview, she's like, I don't get Stassi and Patrick. I think that was like the interview hindsight.
Absolutely, because also she seems to have rose-colored glasses with her friends' relationships.
And then I think it was like looking back onto the situation. Yeah. Now she's like, wait, Patrick said this. Fuck Patrick.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was a big one. That was a big 180 from the first interaction that we saw them have.
Ariana, how stoked would you have been if I would have just kind of like casually? I mean, I realized I was MIA with the triplets, which is an excuse, but not. But what if I was it wasn't even the triplets. I was just kind of MIA, and then I showed up to your birthday party like, we didn't come together. I just kind of showed up in like my
costume,
like in my workout gear, like with my arms kind of folded, like this is amusing. I guess this is what Stassi and her friends do. Okay, well, I guess I'll have a beer and like chill for a little while and. I mean, dude, I
guess it's just hard for me to imagine because I know you would never do that.
I would never do that.
No, right, exactly.
I just know that you would never not go out, like full out for.
Yeah, it's like disrespectful. It's like you don't even give a fuck.
Like when we went to Sonoma last year, or not last year, year before, because last year was 2017.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So 2016, season 5, my birthday, when we went to Sonoma. I mean, you were like. We're fucking gung-ho.
Yeah.
Going to the winery. We're going to, you're like stuck in the RV. You're like making sure everyone's having a good time. You're like, I mean, it's hard for me to ever imagine that you would even do that. I mean,
even when, you said earlier that you did most of the planning for the birthday, even though that is maybe the case, you still went like above and beyond with your outfit, like you were fully there and present.
When he was there, he was there.
I announced Ariana's arrival.
Yeah, exactly. You did the whole thing. You know.
That was like, it's so funny when I'm watching it. It's like you can tell I'm like a little embarrassed. I'm like, well, it's happening. So, and then I remember being like, you announced me, and then like you and oh gosh, people were like bow. You guys bowed, and then I was like, okay, now I feel awkward, so I'm just gonna let's party. Like I'm like, everyone, don't look at me now. Okay, we're done.
That's the greatest go-to anytime. Just let's party in almost any situation.
And then later on on the mic, I was like, let's get drunk. I'm like, okay, I'm done having like this was fun for a sec. Now let's go back to everyone doing their own thing.
You did that at the makeup party too.
Yeah, I did do that at the makeup party. It's my move. Don't sell me out, Craig. That's my move.
Cut that out, Craig. Yeah.
I think what people could see is that it was my idea to do that, not yours.
The announcement, yeah.
You better go up there and announce me.
You better announce me, and you better do it good.
No, you're fully into the whole spirit of things, and to see someone be so shitty and not into the spirit of things like Patrick, it makes you realize the whole thing that's going on. She's so highly attuned to, oh my God, he might get upset about this, because that didn't make sense before. And then you go, oh.
It's like a silent judgment, because he's going to make a comment at some point. Even though he's not making it now, the commentary is going on in his head.
He's like, this is so lame.
And the bullshit's going to come later. Nothing's ever good enough. And then if the other person says, hey, this is fucked up, you're judging me, they'll go, that's all in your head.
Which, you know what? Watching it, now I'm like, dude, I really wish she would have taken that ass shot and had a great fucking time.
Yeah, I know.
I really wish that she would have gone for it and done it.
Maybe now with the...
I'm sure she does too.
Well, maybe now with the new birthday that I'm apparently going to plan.
Yes, right, the new joint birthday party, which is going to be great.
Maybe at that point I'll have worked through my issues and feel comfortable with somebody's face being by my ass, and maybe she can do an ass shot out of mine.
That'd be perfect. I think that would warm the hearts of all the viewers.
I feel like we would have come full circle at that point.
Yeah, twice.
Kiss it.
Ew.
Kiss it.
I feel like that would be great. Yeah, no, I don't like that guy.
No, I don't either. I'm glad she's rid of him. And
and you told me.
Yes.
Okay, so today's Valentine's Day.
That's right, and my birthday.
And your birthday.
So it was fun
and
talking
Ash
about
Wednesday.
your birthday. That's right. It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of things happening today. And you told me that the guy that she's seeing, who I met, okay. Well,
I'll cut that out.
Who knows? Well, I met him very briefly at Brittany's birthday.
Yeah.
And he, very briefly, but he seems super cool and nice. But you told me that he set up her whole apartment in like horror themed Valentine's stuff.
Yep.
Oh.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah. Including a heart. You said like a heart.
Bloody heart with hair extensions coming out of it. The whole place was totally done up.
He killed it. And you know what? I ship it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Right? Same here.
I love it. I love this for her. I love this for her. I really want that for her. I want her to be able to be her true self. She doesn't have to be this, it's my birthday, I run this place girl. Because that's not who she is.
No, totally. The real her is when she comes over when they're doing the scooter.
Exactly.
And she's like, I'm so sorry. And like, she can't, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like she can't even get through that first step.
So hopefully with the support of this guy, and hopefully this works out, because honestly, I fucking love that. And Tom, you better fucking step up your shit, because that's awesome.
Hey now.
But I love it. And I love it for her. So
what does Patrick think about that? That's just lame.
Yeah.
I guess if
as
you want
he
to
goes
enjoy
and
Valentine's
jerks off
Day,
in the corner.
No. I guess if you're like into that,
that's the ultimate thing of a douche.
I mean,
well,
if that's like your thing.
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay.
Sorry, but no. Stassi and I, we've argued about lots of stuff, and we have a lot of differences, but she's way fucking better than that. And she doesn't deserve that.
This segment brought to you by Boys Keep Swinging, the saucy new memoir from Scissor Sisters' Jake Shears, currently starring on Broadway in Kinky Boots. You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll have to see a doctor shortly after completion. Boys Keep Swinging. It's sad. It's smutty. It's Jake Shears. Boys Keep Swinging. Boys Keep Swinging. Available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, and select Circus of Books locations. Buy your copy today.
So Jeremy saved Sir.
My brother Jeremy works at Sir. He's worked there for, I think, probably almost 2 years at this point.
Yeah.
And he's a busser there. And he was closing one night. The restaurant was like there's one couple, I think, left, and
the lounge was open.
Lounge was open, but the restaurant was done. Everyone's like doing their side work, closing up,
airing the kimono room out.
And then Christina Kelly actually was on her way out to the back parking lot where her car was parked.
Yeah.
And saw the smoke and smelled it and came back in and said, "There's a fire." Jeremy was the person who was the nearest to it, and he's like, "What? Okay." And he's like, "Oh, fire extinguisher." Goes into the kitchen, knowing that's where they would be, grabs the fire extinguisher in the kitchen, and just starts going. He was back there, and he said he didn't open the door, right? Because he
did the right move. There was smoke coming out of this room. I wasn't even aware that this room even existed, but it
because the door's always been closed.
Oh, okay.
It's like
and it's kind of dark back there.
There were like cardboard boxes in the
it was like
room. It was just kind of like a
garbage storage kind of.
Broom
it was
closet.
the unwanted stepchild of closets, like shit thrown in there for years and years and years, piled up.
Yeah.
You know, and fuel, essentially
Yeah,
fuel.
basically, yeah.
Old electronics. So he opened it up very slowly. It was going. It was an electrical fire, and he kept putting it out. It kept restarting up.
Oh wow!
And eventually, like another buster grabs a towel, puts it around his mouth.
There's a guy from the kitchen. I think it was like a cook from the kitchen put a towel over his face. And what's so crazy, my brother has really bad asthma.
Oh, that's right.
Like,
yeah.
really bad.
Hospital,
get you to the
like
hospital
3 times
yeah.
this year.
Right.
This year he's been in the hospital 3 times for
and that kind of smoke can
asthma-related
activate
problems.
that like crazy.
Oh, really bad. I mean, even when we had those fires most recently, all those fires near and around LA.
Jeremy was in the hospital for 3 days.
He was in the hospital for 3 days, and that's just
from residual
in the
smoke
air.
Yeah,
that's not being right up next to it.
Right.
So he's sitting there and he's unloading this fire extinguisher, and it still keeps reigniting. At that point, he was able to keep it down for when the fire department arrived. And thank God those guys, like, they put the towel over his face.
Yeah.
And thank God also that it was later in the night in the restaurant.
Sure, right. It could have been full of people.
Who knows? It could have been full of people. Could have created panic. Could have been really bad.
I showed my mom the pictures. My mom's a retired firefighter.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I showed her the pictures. You could see that basically the flames had gone all the way up the wall, the wall, had already started touching the ceiling for the roof of the next floor up, where the office is and stuff. Seriously, without water on that fire to keep it down, because he said it kept reigniting because of the electric, stuff. Another 30 seconds to a minute without water on that fire.
Yeah, the place would have gone.
Completely gone.
Yeah.
We're talking to the point where when you get to a certain point in the fire, you're just trying to keep it from spreading. So you let it burn itself out.
Yeah.
You create a perimeter. You keep water on it. Yes, you're trying to put it out, but you're also more just trying to, like, you can't really do anything.
You're just trying to contain it
when the
as
building,
much as you can,
and when the building is structurally, like, when it's burned structurally, you have to gut everything because it has to be built back up to code, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So at that point it becomes a loss.
Yeah.
They got to, like, demolish it. Mm-hmm. So Sir could have literally burnt down, within another minute of no water on that, we're talking fucking total destruction.
Did he get any kind of increased discount on the food or anything?
He was, Lisa was very appreciative.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, and so was Natalie and Guillermo.
Natalie and Guillermo and Lisa were very appreciative. And honestly, I think he was just happy to have been able to do that because somebody had to. And he loves those guys and he likes working there. And I think he's just happy that Sir's doing okay.
So am I. So are we all.
Yeah.
Except Jax. You could have done.
Well, apparently except Jax, which is...
That's Jax just trying to be cool.
After all that fire damage, I was thinking when Lisa was surveying the damage and then also ordering very specific colors and specific things done, make it happen very fast. Do it in 3 days. I know we need a week, but do it in 3 days. And then when she's giving instructions on how to save those chairs, I was like, can you get some new fucking chairs? And you were like, yeah, spring for a few new chairs.
Right. The reupholstering of the chairs.
Yeah.
We're saving a few pennies on reupholstering the chairs, but we need it quick. So just buy new chairs.
Yeah, just get new chairs. Throw those other fucking chairs out.
Put them in Villa Blanca. Reupholster them and put them in Villa Blanca, for crying out loud.
Next time you guys need to pick up a shift to Villa Blanca, just take those things over.
Yeah. Which also, that was really fun.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
That was actually really,
back at the spa.
That was really cool. And that was really fun. I also like the slight troll move of trying to make it look like, so were you guys hooking up? And we're like, no.
We were standing next to each other.
Yeah,
we
like
were
literally what
together.
we're doing right now is what we were doing then. Standing here, polishing glasses and making drinks and talking to you, Lisa.
And and to close that, what was that drink called again? The hot pink?
Yes.
Hot pink. What's in the hot pink? We'll close with this.
From what I remember, it was created that night for a Beverly Hills housewife party. And I think it was the hot pink is I'm sorry, it is
peach Ciroc.
Peach Ciroc. Muddled lime. Fresh lime juice, peach Ciroc with jalapeno, grapefruit juice, and a splash of crayon.
Pink grapefruit.
And
then if you drop a little bit of tiny thing of dry ice, it does what it does.
Just hearing those things, it fills me full of nostalgia.
Yes, nostalgia.
Well, thank you so much, the two of you, for making this such an enjoyable episode.
Oh, thank
and
you.
it's nice to have you guys back on the pod.
Yeah. Hey, happy birthday, Craig.
Thank you very much.
Craig.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you, and happy Valentine's Day to you crazy kids.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And happy Ash Wednesday, all you
That's right.
Catholics out
Most
there.
importantly, right? We're going to go swab our heads.
Yeah,
right
let
now.
us know what you gave up for Lent.
Yeah, do. Write in.
Find us on Instagram and Twitter at Pump Rules Pod, or go to pumprolespodcast.com for more information. Email pumprolespodcast@gmail.com and follow on Facebook at facebook.com/pumprolespodcast. Thanks for listening and see you next time.